Welcome back to I Bought Toys Today, the show where two old friends enjoy the best part of the toy collecting hobby, telling each other what we bought. As usual, I'm John,
And as usual, I'm Cohan.
and we're back to our regularly scheduled program because good news, Cohan, I bought toys today.
I bought toys today as well.
No joke, I literally got toys today.
As literally did I.
Oh, so we're coming piping hot and fresh out the kitchen with just
So after the last all Cohan episode, it's really simpatico now.
yeah, we're back to the regular run of the mill, just talking about toys.
Yeah,
Great. Let's get this show on the road.
let's roll it.
Do you want to go first?
My first one is really not a toy per se. It's a throwaway. I ordered it a while ago, and
Well, I
it's not.
okay. Well, hold on. Let's stop. Cohan, this is I bought toys today, not I bought trash. Um, and you said this is not a
John.
toy; it's something you're going to throw away.
Well,
So,
wow. Good dad joke there, John. But bought it from. We'll give him a plug. The first time I've ever used him, I got a little worried. It took a little longer than I thought, but it came from toyhacks.com, and my Sky Striker decals showed up in the mail this week, so I can finally complete my
wow.
Sky Striker, get these decals on, and make my 1983 Sky Striker pop with these decals, which are going to drive me insane. I've already been online, particularly on yojo.com, and they have the blueprints to where place said decals.
Excellent.
But I think this is going to be another bonding moment because my daughter's coming over tomorrow for dinner, and she has much more stable hands than I do. So I might be like, Molly, do Daddy a favor.
Those look great. They do
They're,
not look modern, I guess. Like they look like old decals.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they've
they
got
are. I mean,
a
yeah,
very good like vintage feel to them.
yeah, they really do. I mean, particularly, this goes on the tail. The GI Joe, the Sky Striker written here, the symbols here. Yeah, they're really good. I was really impressed, and I got worried because it took a hot minute to get here, but yeah, they look good. They look good. So I'm excited to get those on and make that Sky Striker up there pop. And when it does, probably the next episode we film, I'll finally show it for what it's worth.
Well, very good. Once you get it all bright and shiny, be looking forward
Yep.
to it.
Yeah.
Um, I went back to the well for this episode, feeling the remorse and shame that I did after having nothing for last episode. I really went back to just the places where I work best. Um, so the first thing I'm bringing to talk about today is He-Man, and it's another battle armor He-Man, because, like I said, I needed to go back to what I do best, and I think what I do best is battle armor He-Man.
For a
I'm
guy who doesn't collect Masters of the Universe, I'm just going
no
to keep saying that every time.
no I collect battle armor He-Man.
Well, and
So
lots of other
it's a subgenre, um,
Masters.
because not counting last episode, this is the second consecutive episode that I've shown toys, and one of them was a battle armor He-Man. And I mentioned this one the last time when I had the new Eternia one, saying I'm on the hunt for the cartoon version that is coming out, and it done come out. Here it is. It's very
Look at
good.
that bicep.
Thank you. I've been working out. Um, I didn't even think the camera was getting that.
Yeah.
He's actually quite good because he comes with like his regular He-Man gear as well. Like this comes off, so he could just be regular He-Man. Except, you know what he doesn't come with?
You told me he doesn't come
I
with
know.
the
Pick up
paw sword.
exactly. Um, which I do think is a reference to the cartoon itself because when he is in this outfit, he does not have the sword. But I still thought that was an interesting choice because I can't imagine there are too many He-Man figures that come without swords.
Yeah.
But he's got, you know,
Could you do me a favor, please, and hold him a little closer to the camera so we can actually see his face?
oh sure, I'll do the hand thing even.
I'm not
There
sure
we
that
go.
he, he's kind of ugly.
You can see that lovely axe as well. Um, Battle Armor He-Man, best He-Man. I don't have to go into too much more detail um, because I want to spend most of my time talking about the other Masters of the Universe figure that I got. Um, because there's one supporting character that is, in my opinion, the stinkor of Eternia, the
The
equivalent on
hero.
the good guy side. Yeah, I got a Mechanic, and I'm very excited about it. And this is the new Eternia Mechanic. He comes with neck. That's about it. Um, they do some interesting things with him. The weird thing is, as much as I love Mechanic, because again, he is like the good guy version of Stinkor, as far as I'm concerned. Like I didn't grow up with a Man at Arms or a Tila. Um, I had a Mechanic,
I did too.
and I like Mechanic enough that he is one of the only Origins figures that I also have. Because I don't do a lot of Origins, but I like a Mechanic, and I do kind of miss having the like automatically extending neck.
Turn his
Um,
body. Yeah.
yeah, as silly as that was, it was like a play feature that I didn't mind, as opposed to like those figures that like their arms were useless because they had like a punching thing or like the kicking ones so that like they didn't have knees or whatever. He also comes with a couple of different necks. So if you want only a partially extended neck, there you
Wow.
go. He also, and I don't know where this comes from, but I love that they have his classic club. It comes off because apparently you can extend it as well if you want long club. And apparently this also is supposed to double as like a telescope.
Okay.
News to me. It's on the
Yeah.
box. Um, but I'd seen the like art for this and the figure reveal, and it was one of those. As soon as it was coming out, I was like, well, I'm getting one of those because it's Mechanic. Um, and it's a figure that once I had it in my hand, I like it so much more than when I just saw a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the red and blue are great. The club is like the updated version of the classic that I remember. He's got, I just love the red chest plate. And I get a kick out of how, as magical and technologically advanced as Eternia is, they still have just the dumbest boots.
He
Like
comes with a shield
they have flying ships, but they don't have cobblers. Like he's just wrapping his feet with like hide or whatever. Yeah, it's a thing in New Eternia. They come with shields.
now. Okay.
Like the He-Man has one. Uh I don't think I even had it on him when I was talking about that last one, but they come with shields every now and then.
You, you
Your
know,
guess is as good as mine. But
can I tell
Mechanix,
you? I'm
great.
sorry. Can I tell you a stupid story about Mechanic when I was a kid?
I'd love one.
And I don't know how this started or why it started, but like, and my sister and I would often, she's not that much older than me, but we would play together, like particularly if friends were around, rainy or snowy day. She'd play GI Joe, I'd play Barbie, or she'd play He Man. When we would do this, she loved Mechanic as well, and she'd play Mechanic. And I don't know how this started, but the club, I don't remember how or why, but we started calling it Little Buddy. And so it was his little buddy, and I was the voice of Little Buddy. And so it was an actual sentient club. And it would be like, "Hey, Mech, what are you doing?" Like this stupid little voice. And I don't know why, but we started laughing the first time I did it, and we just kept doing it. And so the club became another character. So it was Mechanic and Little Buddy. I don't know how, don't know why, but the club became a character.
Now that's a classic brother move. It's just personifying whatever is lying around.
Yeah, well,
That's good stuff. I could do one more before we jump
yeah, go
back
ahead.
over to you,
Yeah.
because those two came together with a third figure in the same order that is not related whatsoever. But speaking of going back to the well, um, there was a sale on a toy store, and decisions were made. Um, there was a figure that made my top 10 last year. Um, and there's a few other figures in that line. It's a line that's at a price level that I usually don't step up to, and they rarely go on sale. So when this one did, it took a lot of hemming and hawing to decide on it. But I went ahead and got another Ronin Warrior.
Does nothing for me, but it's a nice looking figure.
It's such a good looking figure. Like I've like I think I was texting you about it. Like it's right on the line of being an action figure or like a model kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure which one it's more of, but they're like they're just so darn pretty. And Ronin Warriors is just such a cool show and so visually sort of fascinating that I got the white armor last year, and was so impressed by it. It made my top 10 list. And Rowan, the bow and arrow one, um, is one of my two favorite of the actual team. Um, but I learned from my mistakes last time, and before I talked about it, I actually took them out the box,
Oh wow.
and put them together.
Yeah.
Um, like it feels like a model kit because it does feel sort of delicate, and of course, like stuff snaps on and snaps off. It comes with, as you can see, we've talked about this before, like it comes with a whole nother figure, technically, that you can use to just like display the armor and then have the guy standing by himself in his usual outfit. Like the ends of the bows folds up so you can like put it on his backpack, which
That's
has like
cool.
a thing that opens up on there. He comes with like four different faces, like all sorts of different hands so that he can hold the bow, not hold the bow, hold it in different ways. He comes with like I have a shouting face. Currently, he comes with like a masked one. Um,
Hmm.
like it looks so much like the actual animation as well that it's so cool to look at. Um, but I have sort of a problem in that now I have two of them.
How many are there?
4 more.
Yeah, you'll have them.
They got to go on sale sometime,
They
but
do.
hopefully not in too close a proximity to each other. Cause like don't put them on sale. Like do one like every month or so, and maybe that won't be too bad.
Do you know,
Um,
besides the fact that you talk about Ronin Warriors and what they
yeah,
are, that's my entire knowledge of them. I have never seen the cartoon. I forgot the toy line
do
existed.
do you want to? I have it on DVD back here,
No,
the
I'm
whole
good.
thing.
I'm good.
Okay,
I've never seen it, and let's just keep it that way. My ignorance is bliss.
I think it's also on Amazon Prime,
Yeah, I won't be watching it.
or at least it was. Don't quote me on whether it
Yeah,
still is. It's very good. You're not a big anime guy though,
I'm
and to be
not. I'm
fair,
really not.
I'm not either. Like
I mean,
I've seen the ones I've seen and I've liked the ones I like, but I'm not like out there looking for new anime or anything. Like I'll talk about Cowboy Bebop all day, and that's like 25 years old.
yeah. Well, I'll talk about Voltron and what is it, Defenders of the Planet or G Force as it was here in the U.S.
Hmm.
Those are the and there was a time.
Yeah, like that
God,
counts.
there was a time I watched Dragon Ball Z, but I was not into Dragon Ball
Well,
Z that much.
there was a time when everyone my age watched Dragon Ball Z. I don't think you could if you had
Well, I'm like
you
10 years
know
older than you.
cable in the late 90s. You were watching Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network,
I was just
and
gonna
you
say there it
just
was on what was it? What do they call it? Tsunami or whatever?
yep. So yeah, what back to you? What do you got?
Well, I'll do one more here because it's the others kind of go together. But I added to the WWE collection today. I happened to be running some errands and had to go to a store, and of course, I always check the toy aisle and um, saw a display of these figures and was digging through. I had one in my hand, almost picked her up, and decided, oh, I flipped it over and like, oh. So I dug through, and this was the last remaining one. So, shoosh, shoosh, please. I got me a Chad Gable. He's so good.
You love that guy.
Oh my god, so under. I hope he wins the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. He's not. They're probably going to put it on Jay. Well, they might put it on. I don't know. That's going to be a stacked IC match, but he so deserves it. He's so good in the ring, and he's done everything. Like I talked about last time with the Miz, he does anything he's asked to do, from his stupid Shorty G gimmick to everything else. But this Alpha Academy, he's phenomenal in the ring. Another former Olympic athlete. He's even got the shoosh on the shirt. He came with other hands. He actually came like this in the package, and I was like, no, that's no. Thank you is all he needs. He's so good. I have an Otis, but I need an Alpha Academy Otis.
Okay.
I hope they make him because they're so good together. They could do so much with those belts, man. But yeah, so there's my Chad Gable. Thank you.
No, Cohan, thank you.
Well, yeah. So my other three kind of go together. But so just to get Chad out of the way. But look. The one thing I find odd is of all the things you probably won't be able to see, he got a mustache.
Well, it looks like he just
Not
has like stubble. Like there's nothing under the chin there, or is that just shadow?
no, that's a little under the chin, but it's really like a full. Look at him. Thank you. Look at that smile.
Okay.
But that
Facial hair
stash.
is hard to do.
But he's not. He shouldn't have a mustache.
Is he like a clean shaven gentleman?
More recently, yes. I don't remember him having the mustache as a maybe stubble, yes, but I mean he's I
Yeah, I
mean
took it
it's
more as like
not.
a just a 5 o'clock shadow kind of scruffiness than a actual stash.
Look at him. Look how happy he is. Thank you. Oh look, he's like he's in the mood to give me a stunner. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chad Gable.
Um, Continuing my theme of going back to my wheelhouse uh, in order to participate in an episode again. Um, I don't know if you knew this, but there are new Marvel Legends out, Cohan.
No.
Shocker, they still make those. Um,
Huh.
they've started putting out the next line of X-Men 97 figures, and they've
Oh.
started shipping them to me. I'm very happy about that. Except that they are not shipping them together. I ordered a couple of them. Um, and these two showed up today. I
Oh.
think another is showing up uh, tomorrow. And if there may or may not be others, they haven't even shipped yet. So I don't know how that works. You'd think they would all arrive together, get put in a box together, and show up together, but
No,
who
so
knows?
they
That
can
would have been
charge you
too
more for
easy.
shipping. Yeah.
And that's what I was actually worried about. Except that when I made the order, like I got free shipping on it,
Oh.
and that transfers. So I just get more boxes that I have to throw away. Um, but luckily for me, the ones that showed up include the one that I really want to talk about. This is Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler's great. Love Nightcrawler. Have like half a dozen different Nightcrawlers. This is another Nightcrawler. I don't have much, you know, too much to say about him. I'm glad that he's in the cartoon though, because Nightcrawler is not a character that gets put into things like outside of the comic books as like legendary as he is in the comic books though. Like
Mhm.
he had a couple of guest spots in the original animated series.
Yeah.
They've tried to put him into movies, which I am going to say were more misses than hits. Um, but it's cool that he seems to be showing up in this one. So hopefully he'll do something. Um, but the one I actually want to talk about is this guy, Executioner, who I was so excited to get. I already took him out of the box. Um, and I'm wild about this character. I'll hold him close to the camera so Cohan can see him.
Thank you.
There you go. I know you. I know you were really hankering for that. Um, I'm a big fan, as you may well know, of obscure characters.
Shocking.
Lots of them. When they made a maggot figure a couple years ago, oh, I was so happy. And there's so many more that I'm waiting on, but the fact that they made an executioner, a figure that they've not made since they did that Toy Biz one, uh, probably back in like '94, maybe. Um, I think it's wild that he's there at all, and he's such a weird figure. He comes with a ton of accessories. Like he's got a rifle, he's got two poles, he's got some sort of hand blaster that I think is actually kind of cool because it just like slides over. That's kind of neat. He
Yeah.
doesn't come with any alternate hands, doesn't come with any alternate heads. As you saw with Nightcrawler, he's got like another set of hands and that's it. Because apparently this guy took all their accessory budget. His head is just this, like no neck or anything. The gear doesn't come off, like it's all plastic. Um, none of it is soft goods or anything, and none of it is detachable. But I just think it's wild that they made this figure at all. Because as cool as I think Executioner looks, and as much as I like him as a concept for a character, he is so obscure and had genuinely like only a few appearances. Because his backstory is he is an FBI agent that discovered when his like partner died that his partner had been helping mutants, and he hates the mutants, so he
Huh.
steals all this gear and decides to start murdering them.
Was that the run? Sorry. Was that the run of Executioner Song, or was that something different?
No, that's just Cable.
Oh, okay.
It was just Cable and Strife. Looks like I
That's
showed up
right.
a little later. Um, Showed up in an annual, and there was one issue where he tried to sneak into the mansion to kill one of the X-Men, and Cable and Cyclops kicked his butt together. Um, and he's appeared you know, handful of times since, but he's never been a major character. And he's got some bona fides. Apparently, these are supposed to be like Shi'ar technology somehow, um, to help legitimize him as he's just a regular dude. But that I think he's a good villain potentially, in that he's just a dude that wants to kill mutants. And if the X-Men want to have like their story be living in a world that, hates and fears them, they need like people who hate and fear them, and not like Apocalypse
Right.
as an enemy. So like this is much more like street level, but it's also like more realistic and more identifiable and more relatable, because you can tell actual stories of sort of bigotry and, oppression and prejudice and all those things that the X-Men are supposed to be a metaphor for,
Mm-hmm.
with villains like Executioner. um, I think his color scheme is cool, this sort of Reese's peanut butter thing he's got going on with just the shock of red. um, I love that he looks like a cartoon figure. Like there's almost like a Bruce Timm, like DC animated series sort of thing to his look. But he's also just such an obscure character that I can't believe he's real, and I love that. Like he might be a sleeper to make this year's top 10 list, um, just for that alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So X-Men 97 are slowly making their way to my house, but luckily I got the one I was most excited for first, so we could talk about it.
Excellent.
Um, they arrived today, but I also got another Marvel Legend today
Ooh.
because I went to a new toy store today. Um, there's and I say new toy store, not just that I'd never been there before, but it's a new toy store in that it had never been there before. Because just up the road from me, I say that was like half hour away, a new toy store opened like yesterday, had their grand opening, um, called Dark Iron Cosplay. I think they might have changed the name to make it more of a store. Um, I think it's like Dark Iron Toys Cosplay and Games, and it just opened, so it's not the most like complicated store yet. But boy, do they have style! Because it's a store that apparently is also connected to people who cosplay. They decorated the heck out of that. Like you walk in and it's like they made a store inside of like a repurposed haunted house. Like all the all the walls are decorated to look like castle walls. Um, and they have like these little, like all their Batman figures are in an actual Bat cave.
That's
Thought that was
cool.
a fun little effect. Um, so I went there, took the kiddo with me because I wanted to spend some time with them. We were out running errands today, um, so went and checked this place out. He got a little motorized BB-8 that runs around. He was very excited for it, and I got cable. It's a Marvel Legends cable that I do not have, and I don't see very often. It's from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure, which I do have, and he's fantastic. I want to say this was like 2016 or so.
Okay.
Um, and I've always thought it was a really weird looking cable because the costume he's wearing is from an Avengers miniseries,
Hmm.
where Cable, who had been dead for some time, um, was brought back somehow, time travel probably, and was there to like kill all of the Avengers. I didn't read it. Um, but I always thought that was, of all the like classic Cable costumes, sure, why not use one from an Avengers miniseries and not from like, I don't know, any time where he was Cable in a Cable series or an X Force series. Um, but it's a pretty good one, and I don't talk about him a lot, but or as at least as much as you think I should for a character who is one of my favorite characters of all time. Um, but he was just sitting there at such a good price, um, that the other figures that I was looking at, which you would have loved because they were, was very interested in some Masters of the Universe classics figures that they had, because they had two of them and they were both mutants from the New Adventures of He-Man cartoon, um, which were also at what was a very nice price for classics figures because those are hard to find and rarely inexpensive. But this guy was even at a nicer price, so I had to jump on it because you don't see too many cables, and especially since Marvel Legends just announced there's a new cable coming, which I may or may not have already pre-ordered. Um, I gotta have my cables. So, like I was saying, it's a brand new store. I also wanted to check it out, buy something to support them. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Um, but since it was their opening, had stuff going on. Um, there were It was pretty rowdy in there, and there were a lot of little kids crying because they did have someone in full Venom cosplay, um, which did terrify some children. But I was also impressed they had a dude in Juggernaut cosplay who was very tall. Uh, but as we were buying these, they said, "Hey, they're doing a thing." Like I said, it's very decorated. There's a lot going on in the store. They just had a well, like a full sized well, in there, and they're like, "Go pull the rope, bring the bucket out of the well, and like reach in and pull out a thing and see what prize you won." I was like, "Cool, the kiddo will love that." Um, he was is completely baffled by the whole thing. I'm just like, "Yeah, reach in there, grab the thing." He's like, "Okay." Um, he pulls out a piece of paper that says he gets a free toy.
Wow.
Cool. I don't know what that means, because it just says free toy, and I'm like, just any of them? That sounds like a bad idea.
Uh-huh.
But no, they had took it up there. They had this giant box that like I could have slept in. It was like a box the size of like a twin sized bed, um, just full of random toys. There was like a Batman backpack in there, um, all sorts of stuff. I didn't get a great look at it. and they were like, have him come back here. You can just like grab anything. I was like, that's cool. Uh, told the kid, I was like, yeah, just like poke around in there, grab whatever you want. He goes over again, completely baffled by just all of these adults like telling him, go here, do this, shuffling around, completely confused. Spends all of half a second looking at the box, grabs something, comes back. And I go, cool, buddy. Like, what did you buy? There's got to be something neat in there. Do you want to see what he pulled out of the free toy box?
Yes. Oh my God, I do.
It is a 12-inch tall invisible woman figure from the first Fantastic Four movie.
Jessica Alba.
Yes, it is a 12-inch tall, uh, clear Jessica Alba figure.
Hey, hey, I recall on our believe our last episode you said they needed, or maybe the episode before that, we need more translucent figures. There you go, sir. You got your wish.
And this thing came out, I think I want to say 2005. Yeah, I think it's 2005. So this thing is almost 20 years old. I'm
And
pretty
they're
sure that's some sun damage.
uh
Um, it is a little sticky,
huh.
so I'm not going to touch it. But
Well, you
yeah,
must
he
have
just went over
already.
there. He just went over to the box, like just grabbed apparently whatever, and walks back. And I look at him like, "You sure, bud?" He's like, "Yes." I think he was just done and wanted to go at the time. But I'm like, "All right, now I have to go home and explain this to your mother."
It's a conversation piece. It's like a coffee table book. Just put it on your coffee table and let it sit there.
It's just my 12-inch tall, invisible Jessica Alba figure.
Yeah.
We're driving home, and I'm chatting with him as he's sitting there, and he's talking about this, and he goes, "This is for me and Mama." And I go, "Oh, it's a present for Mom?" He goes, "No, it's for me and Mama." I don't know what that means. Apparently, they're going to share it.
All right.
But I will give him credit. I mean, it's going to be hard to see because it's translucent. I mean, the face sculpt could be worse,
Yeah.
but it does have 28 points of articulation as well.
Oh well, that's a bonus. Wow,
So just
that's
just
good.
a great pickup.
You didn't get to see what was in the box?
No, because it was like behind the counter. Um, just a lot of weird random stuff, I'm sure. But
Did you get to pull from the well or just him?
no, just him.
Okay. That's kind of neat though. I mean,
It's
obviously it's a lot of
yeah,
inventory that
it's
doesn't move, right? It's a bunch of crap, but they're like,
yeah,
here,
it's
take
it's
it.
it's perfect.
He knows your love of translucent figures. You brought
But
this
that was
upon
so weird.
yourself.
Like there's like I think I have a Fantastic Four sweatshirt, and like that has to be the only way he would ever have even heard of the Fantastic Four. So it could have been like, oh, cool,
Oh
like
no,
fantastic. Like I was wearing, yeah, like he was not like analyzing these pics. He was
no.
just like
What is he?
this
4?
5, yeah. Like he just panicked and grabbed what was closest to it.
Yep,
Did a great job. Loved it. It was
that's great.
great. So beat that. What do you got?
Well, speaking of sales, as I was meandering around, this is a figure I was never going to pick up, not for the price they wanted it, but for the price it was on sale for. I went, well, all right, I'll do it. Um, Meet Scrap Iron, GI Joe
Oh, that's
Classified.
intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Move it
like
a
the
little
fact that
closer to the screen now.
I like the fact that we can see his face. He's got the
Yeah,
burns. You know, the helmet
I
never
like a
came off
helmet.
before. Yeah, but I mean, the helmet. You put the helmet on him, and he looks like classic scrap iron. He came with his little. I mean, it's a much more advanced now, but his little missile launcher,
Oh, good. You
right?
got all of it. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh no, yeah. New in box, sir. These for all the explosion stuff they come with, like these, you could set down. And it looks like they hit stuff and exploded.
It's
It's
very
not
good.
just the stick on the end of the missile thing, but his little his little his little remote for the yeah. I was not going to pick this figure up. I like scrap iron.
Yeah, and
I'm not
it's a you're not a big Cobra guy anyway.
no. I'm getting more and more of them, but again, he was a deluxe figure, and deluxe figures usually run about $45. And again, I he's neat, and you know my Cobra collection is growing, but I was like, I'm not paying $45. For I don't need scrap iron that badly. Maybe if I'd found him loose at a convention or whatever, I may have picked him up. But yeah, see, I mean, with the helmet, it's classic scrap iron. Look at that, just classic.
It's very good.
But um, I have no problem revealing what I paid for him. So it said was 45 29, which is $3 to $5 more than a regular classified figure. And I looked at the price again. I was like, oh, oh, and there were some boxes, like there were like 5 or 6 back, and some of the boxes had damage. Like, I'm going to open them anyway, but then I filtered through and I found a box in really good condition. I was like, all right. So Scrap Iron came home. So there you go.
Yeah, I remember when he was like revealed on a live stream. Um, and he is a deluxe figure. Like he comes with his missile launchers, and that's cool. But he's also just a good looking figure. Like
He
that,
is.
I love a great removable helmet. Big fan of that. I love that his face is real beat up too.
Yeah. Scarred and
He's
burned.
got some scars and stuff. So I remember when he was revealed, and just thinking like he's so cool. It makes me wish I got more GI Joes.
Yeah. And like I said,
So
I
that's
had
very
not even
cool.
thought to pick him up, but when I saw him for what he was, I was like, I can do that. I'll
That
pay
was my
less.
first thought when you held him up. Was I thought like you just got him loose,
Nope.
like just his figure or something. So that's a cool pickup.
Yeah, complete in box with everything. And like I said, I saw, and the stupid thing is, and I got him at the Walmart where with when I got Chad Gable. Um, man, those classic Lady J classic card back figures, they're still there. I came
See,
this
that's the only
close.
thing they have at my Walmart.
Yeah, that I came this close. It was her and him. That was it. And because they'd finally dropped the price from 25, she's now 16. But I'm still like, yeah, still don't want her that badly. I already have a Lady J, and
I was
and
gonna say you already have one.
yeah, yeah, no, no, no.
Speaking of a good deal, um, you are going to very much enjoy finding out how much I paid for my next figures.
Oh,
Um, because we're going to keep this train running of me going back to my well. I'm doing all the hits today. We're playing all the hits. No deep tracks here. We're playing the hits. So I went to eBay and I got nasty.
freak
And
nasty.
I found good stuff. Because sometimes on eBay, you just stumble across stuff at the right place and time that you have no business like finding.
Hmm.
And I got some figures that I'd had my eye on for quite some time at different locations at different prices that were always just a little higher than I wanted to pay. But I just happened to trip and fall and land in a cave of wonders on eBay one day, and I got some stuff at a price that I almost feel bad for, like, not paying more. And the cool thing was they all came from the same seller, so all the shipping got bundled together. And when I got it, this is how the figures arrived: in a box, then individually packaged and wrapped in, uh, bubble wrap. So the first one up is arguably the coolest looking superhero of the 90s. Do you want to guess? Who do I think is one of the coolest looking superheroes?
Oh my god. Uh, the dude, what's his name? Guardian?
Close. No.
Guardian? I don't know. God, I'm Black Knight.
No, it's Havoc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the classic Toy Biz Havoc, from his just fantastic X Factor costume. It's not the best looking figure, but it is the best looking costume. He's got
You say so.
he's got a real weird chest to hip ratio.
He does.
Um,
That's not a
and
good costume.
his sort of his lollipop shaped havoc blasts, shall we call them, are also fun. It's a great costume. What are you talking about? With
Go on.
the jacket, the 90s sort of head sock, what we've never figured out what to call it.
Yeah, he's trying to be look. He's trying to be his
It's
brother.
great.
He's got brother
As he
envy.
should. Hey, we should all be more like his brother. Stop it. Um, but Havoc is fantastic. And we're gonna play.
I'm being more like
Okay,
Cyclops.
I'm ending the call. We're gonna play this game, Cohan. Do you want to guess how much I paid for this?
$7.
You wish. $3.
Oh wow. So like my alien figure, 3 for
And
5.
that's on an auction. I bid $3 on it, not to buy it now, and like it lasted, and I won. Let's keep this ball rolling.
All right.
Um, Speaking of Cyclops, when we did my big eBay episode uh, so long ago, there was a Cyclops figure in there that was from a Toy Biz line that I wanted more figures from in the future. And I finally got the two figures that I wanted. And the first one is good old Age of Apocalypse Magneto,
Okay.
which I gotta say is a pretty solid Magneto. So much so that they used this figure again in another line and just did a straight up repainted. Like they made his colors darker, painted an M on his torso. Like they even used the same sort of magnetic hand there and just repainted that as well to make it look like metal. Um, but it's just the Age of Apocalypse Magneto. And I gotta say, especially for Toy Biz, that which they got weird with stuff, this is a pretty good Magneto. It's not bad. Um, and that's saying something, especially in this line where most of the figures are bad. Um, but he's very good. Comes with a removable helmet, which is just, what else
your
could you
favorite
ask for?
your favorite
The
accessory?
face, yeah, that's because it's the best. The face is not terrible for, probably, was it 95 Toy Biz, um, which, that wasn't necessarily their strong suit. but the proportions aren't too bad. Like he doesn't have Havoc's giant chest to or anything. It's a very good Magneto. And I didn't talk about this with the Havoc figure, but like, look at that card.
It's pretty good.
Like this is in beautiful shape. Like there's
you
not
paid
even a sticker on it. There's not even like a Toy Biz sticker on it or anything.
so you paid $4 for that one.
I didn't, in fact, pay $4 for this one.
Oh,
And this is a
250.
figure that I don't, huh?
I said 250.
No, $4. Um, and these are figures that I don't know if I've seen this under 15,
Yeah.
maybe. And I got one more
Okay.
because it's the one that if you're going to get Age of Apocalypse Cyclops and Age of Apocalypse Magneto, what else are you going to get?
Wolverine. Oh,
No,
Sinister.
fool.
Oh, Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. Yes. Age
Oh,
of him.
he's
This
he's
is,
got a tiny
if you'll
head.
remember, yeah, he really does. Um, and I'll talk about that in a second. If you'll remember,
Great.
probably a year ago, you talked about, I don't know if it was last episode or the one before that, you made a trip to Toy Hunters. About a year ago, when I made a trip to Toy Hunters, this was one of the figures that they had at the time that I was looking at. And I think it was like $20, which is not an insane amount of money. I do think it's on the high end for an old Toy Biz figure, at least what I want to pay because I'm cheap. Um, but apparently, like that's also pretty normal for this guy because I guess maybe just because it's Apocalypse, because it's Age of Apocalypse, um, because it's a small line that you don't see a ton of. I think the cheapest I've ever seen this was like $17. And again, the card is in fantastic condition. Um, he looks hilarious. He's got a little Shadow King with him in there. So it's basically 2 for 1. And the reason he looks like that is because I'm pretty sure they based him on the way he looks in specifically the X-Man series of Age of Apocalypse. Because that's where you see him interacting with Shadow King. And I think just because of maybe the artist who drew him that, I don't know if it was maybe like the perspective they had. I think that's maybe why he is so oddly proportioned. Like you can clearly see that his hand is way bigger than his head,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine and funny. And most action figures have weird head to hand portion like proportions anyways because they got to hold stuff. Um, but to get the big three that I wanted from this line, because they also made a Wolverine and a Sabretooth. You can see him right here on the back.
Yeah.
Those figures are not good. And I'm not looking for them. But I wanted these three. There is a Gambit, which I don't know if I have never seen by himself. I've never seen him like packaged up like one of these. The only place I've seen him is in one of your favorite action figures of mine, Cohan, that 2-pack that I have of him and Rogue. When they came out with like the couples 2-packs, and it's Age of Apocalypse Gambit and Age of Apocalypse Rogue, which
Mm-hmm.
was funny because they weren't really a couple in that version. But I've even though he's on the card, I've never seen him I've never seen them, not even on eBay. And I
Yeah.
looked
Well,
because
kind
I
of
was
like
like,
a
oh, I'm getting these two. I might as well look for them. I'm very happy to have like the Age of Apocalypse figures that I got, because like I've got all the Marvel Legends up there. They're one of my favorite parts of my collection. Like I'm fairly certain every single Age of Apocalypse comic book, and I don't just mean when they originally did it in '95. I also mean like every time they've ever made anything,
hmm.
because they've gone back a few times.
Well,
I know
like
you're
you were.
about to say
Hold on,
something.
I'm
What do you
gonna
got?
no. I'm gonna interrupt you.
Yeah,
Go back to
okay.
go to the back of your card again. Kind of like we talked about last episode when I had the aliens figures with Vasquez and talking about how her on the back of the card they showed her in red shirt, not the green shirt she came in. Maybe the same
Mhm.
thing with Gambit. Like they made him and never released him in as a solo, but had him primed for that 2-pack like you have. So, you know,
And I don't know if I'm ever going to get this close enough that it'll focus, but and my camera's not cooperating. But that the Wolverine and the Sabretooth are so ugly.
yeah.
You want to guess how much this was?
Okay, so 3 for Havoc, 4 for Magneto. Let's split the difference. 350.
No, 550.
Oh well, all right.
And that's
Good
only because I
price.
had to out. That's only because I had to outbid someone, or
Well,
else it would have just been five.
no, pretty good. Well,
Yeah, so that's like eBay is a wild place where like you can encounter some weird stuff, but every now and then you find an absolute gem, because those are all in tremendous condition.
mm-hmm.
We're at what I'll call a ludicrous price point, and our three big check marks in the old Toy Biz collection that I'm really happy to see.
Good.
Um, and I've got one more thing that I got from Ye Old Electronic Bay, um, that I'm really looking forward to you knowing that I have. But I want to know what else you got first.
Well, my final two. Um, uh, my shout out once again to Kidforce Collectibles and Joe Kiskis. Posted he got some new Super Sevens in, and I bit the bullet and I went and got them. The first is, of course, talking GI Joe, and we got hello Doc. The first Doc. Again, I love Doc. I loved his character. I loved playing him. Like when my sister and I would play. I don't know. We got on this thing and would be like, Doc, what's the news today? And I would always throw out some stupid fact, random, like it's cold outside, or whatever. And so Doc came. Love. I mean,
Devastating.
he looks classic. I mean, this is classic Doc. Again, I will disagree with the people who don't like the removable glasses. He actually has 3 heads with 3 removable glasses. This is the best head. You won't. You can hardly pick it up. I mean, I'll do the hand thing too, but he's got just
Yeah.
a slight smirk. One's got like him like stone face. One's just like and then I like the smirk. I like just the small smirk. Talk about accessories. Look at this. All right.
Okay.
First, I'll rant about this one first because as I was popping this one out of the package, his little medical bag. Oh yeah, let's just break. Okay, thanks, thank you. All right, but he's got his medical satchel, and it's got the little. I never remember what that medical insignia is called. I can't remember the name of that.
Is it a Caduceus?
Oh, could be yeah. He's got his flare, his medical flare with removable mortar. All right,
I like a medical flare, not a regular flare.
this is medical. He's got your favorite accessory, removable helmet. They're all coming with these, but he's got his radio, his walkie-talkie.
Good.
Um, Two really really nice touches. He's got his first aid kit which opens with medical supplies. How great is that?
Very good.
And then
Excellent.
every 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 doctor needs to carry his field command comic book.
It's a medical comic book.
It's a medical comic. How great is that?
Mhm.
Just great. And he's just a good. And he came with his little sidearm, which is little pistol, which doesn't fit with his character because again, if you read the card like Lifeline, he and Lifeline are both pacifists. So yes, he would need a sidearm. Would he use it? I don't know, but classic Doc and fine. And I know he's coming out in Classified as well, but
That's a good looking figure too.
he is, yeah. I'll be getting him too. But it's Doc, man. It's Doc. And
The Super 7 ones look so much like the cartoon versions.
yes, that's what
It,
draws me to them.
like I don't know what they do to them to get them to look like that as opposed to just like a soldier the way the classifieds do, but I don't know if it's the
Yeah,
color or they use a different type of plastic or whatever, but man, it just looks like they
yeah.
stepped out of the TV.
Well, I think it's both, and the plastic is it's hard to describe. I want to say it's, for lack of a better word, it feels softer.
I was gonna say
And,
softer.
and that's a weird term because it's not, but it
Mm-hmm.
feels. It's a different feel. But while we're on Super Sevens, oh, hello, Scarlet. There she is, man. There she is. I will say that getting her original hands off, and there'll be a story coming up about that too, was a pain. I actually had to use pliers to pluck them off because they were just fists. They all come with these closed fists, and I want hands that can hold stuff.
Yeah.
My Scarlet was special though because she came with two left hands. Like as I'm trying to pry the right fist off, I'm like, why is this in the wrong position? And I turned it. I'm like, she literally had two left fists. I was like, I could make us think about this. I'm not going to. It's because it's a funny story. But so, and she's got the long hair is what Scarlet should have. She's got the stars on her wristbands, which she should have, and it's just Scarlet. And she came with the scowling face, this like grin, which she has here, and they're doing this with all of them, all the ones where you can actually see their faces, except Doc didn't come with one, but they all have like the little headset, like when they're in the Sky Striker. I don't need that head.
That's
Stop it.
cool.
All right, but her accessories, she came with an M16 that's already put away, and so is her other heads. But she came with a much larger size crossbow, not her
I
classic
say that she,
crossbow,
yeah, use the
little
crossbow.
spoke. Yeah, and there's a slot where you can put the arrows, which I'll get to in a moment, and then her little classic little classic crossbow there. Her quiver with there are 3 removable arrows because of course you need to lose those. But and radio.
Yeah.
They all have them. But what I found really cool was this. This is just this little nice little touch to the cartoon. She has 3 more arrows, and like this little arrow here, it's a little different. Then you've got your I gotta get my fat fingers on it. Your thermal arrow. It's got the heat
Mm-hmm.
that will ignite when it hits. And of course, everybody needs. This is just phenomenal. How can I best to do this? Your little grappling hook arrow. I mean, there you
Very
go. I
nice.
mean, I can unwind that. I'm not going to, but shoot and just shoot yourself up. But yeah, so you know, two. I already remember. I've recently unboxed Snake Eyes and Duke, and when I brought these home, Doc and Scarlet are going to join Snake Eyes and Duke, and these Super Sevens, I'm not going to collect the whole series. Gung Ho was supposed to be coming out or is out already. When he gets out, he'll join the gang. They're such great cartoon nods, and I think that's what draws me to them. They look like the cartoon comic book characters, Just beautifully done. Um, I'm a little upset with Doc. His knees are a little loose. He's brand new, and she's got one kind of loose leg too. But not that I'm gonna go. Oh, I want my money back. But just just a great. And I'm looking at there's Snake Eyes and Duke up there. Scarlet and Doc will stand right beside him with their stuff next to the Classifying Gang. Just really, really good figures and really good. Yeah, that's the. I know it's stupid, but it's very, very soft, very smooth plastic. I don't know how to describe it
Mhm.
otherwise. Um, again, I like the sculpt on the face. I like again the long hair, the little smirks that we can give him. Duke, obviously Snake Eyes didn't need to come with extra heads. Duke didn't have a head with a smirk on it. I don't think. It was more. It was like very like serious or like like or he was like screaming Yo Joe, and I'm just gonna go. But I like just the slight little like it's not they're
I
not
would like if Snake Eyes did just come with three heads that were all exactly the same, but it's like this is his smirking one, this is his mad one.
yeah that would be
You know,
great. Yeah,
you just can't
but
tell.
yeah. So there's my little haul. One classified,
Very
one
good.
wrestler, some decals, and some Super Sevens.
Yeah, again, we're nothing but the hits today. Um,
Nothing but
yeah, you got GI Joes and wrestlers. Um, I got
X
He
Men,
Man
He
and
Man.
Marvels. Yep. I'm a little surprised you didn't already have the Scarlet.
She just came
If
out.
it, oh, okay, because yeah, if you had like, if I would have had to have bet money, I would have been like, yeah, he's had that thing for months. Um,
No,
but
no,
no,
no.
if it just came out, then yeah.
Yeah, literally, Joe posted on Facebook, I think last week. Hey, these are in the store, and it was those two and two Cobra ones. I don't remember the Cobra ones that came out because I'm not getting those. Um, but I was like, oh, Scarlet. And then I went today, and I was like, I asked, and I know he's on vacation, and the young guys that worked behind the counter weren't sure if they had him, and the one kid went and looked, and we walked over. He's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "Yeah, oh nope, that's Doc." He's like, "Here's Scarlet." He's like, "Do you want Doc too?" I was like, "Yeah, I got my tax refund back." So I bought them both.
Can I share with you my last thing?
Oh, please do. I'm excited for this because you're excited for it.
So when I was on eBay, getting those guys and just poking around to see what else was there, um, I did find something that was being auctioned off at a very good price point, but that I thought I would like never actually get. Um, so I just threw the minimum bid out there and went about my merry way because these guys were all ending like the day I found them. This other bad boy still had like a week left. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's no chance that, I'm actually going to get it on this bid. I got it on that bid, um, which is tremendous. Um, because we talked about it before, one of my very favorite things to collect is this like original line of X-Men figures from Toy Biz. Got all the like first edition of the regular figures that I even went and got like special plastic uh cases for. I've got the play sets for both like the Wolverine Danger Room, the Cyclops Danger Room, the Wolverine bike, and now I have the Magneto car.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
The Magneto Magnetron in this beautiful purple box, just like the purple cards that the bad guys come on, in that original line. That this thing is such nonsense. you know, that famous car that Magneto drove all the time.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, but it's just great. Like it's got, you know, that art that the original line
Yeah.
had on the back. Um, but again, like, look at the shape this
That's
box is in.
that's pretty good. That's really nice.
Like this is the tape that's on it. Like, I don't think this thing has ever been opened. I don't think it's ever seen natural sunlight. Like, I just think it was in a nice, like, dry place for the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's in, like, better condition than, like, some of the brand new toys. Um, like, it's just such a perfect good box. You can hear it. It's in there. It's not an empty box. Um, and it was, again, just one of those, like, yeah, I'd love to have one of those because I don't have one in my collection. Never had one of these growing up. Had the Wolverine cycle, and its weird Wolverine face on the
I
front of
was
it.
I was
Um,
just gonna say that.
but never had the little Magneto car with its metallic disc catapult. Um, but when I saw this being auctioned off, and there were a handful of you know, different ones at various price points, all being sold on there. Um, this one was auctioned off. Just, you know, throw a bid out as a joke, that I was absolutely certain, you know, at that price would have been outbid by the
Twelve
time it
dollars.
ended. Close, $15.
Wow.
$15, little man. Put Magneto Magnetron in my hand,
Excellent.
and if that metallic disc doesn't catapult, then you owe me, owe me, owe. Um, yeah, like, it's gorgeous. How it's in such good condition, I have no idea. Um, but I'm thrilled to add it to the collection. And, like, this is kind of it for that original run. Um, got the figures, got the danger rooms, got the vehicles,
Do you have the complete collection?
almost. I think there are a couple of obscure things from that first line that are going to be really hard to find.
Are they like like
Um,
like like the helmet you were talking about or something like that?
yeah, because there's dress up play sets that there's recently I've spent time on eBay. I don't know if I've mentioned this. There's currently, a set of the Magneto, like, dress up playset, they were called.
Mm-hmm.
It is in the box, like, complete, looks like it's never been opened, just like this one, going for $100.
No.
And will I ever find it less than that? I don't know, but too rich for my blood. Um, there's also, there's a Wolverine one, that there are several bits and pieces of currently, because of course I looked them up. The There's a Cyclops helmet that, good luck, can't even find it on eBay. Um, you know, don't know if you'll ever see it. They also at some point made, um, big figures of Wolverine and Magneto, and not in the same way of, like, that Shatterstar where it's just like the 10-inch version of the version they, would eventually produce. Like, these ones are different. They're not the same sculpt. Um, and I want to say they're at least 12 inches tall. And those are
Okay.
pretty hard to find. I think I sent you a picture of one when I found it at a store a few months ago,
Yeah.
and you'll remember it because like Wolverine's mask had like melted and was all in some weird shape, and I forget how much the figure was, um, but I'm going to say it was preposterous, whatever the amount was.
Yeah.
So there's a few more things to pick up in that uh, line that I don't know if I ever will because they're starting to get obscure and harder to find and therefore stupid expensive. Um,
But for the main run, the figures, the vehicles, and playsets, you got it.
yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
that's it.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's I this got nerding out. What a feeling of accomplishment that has to be. Like like here, here I have all the figures, the 3 vehicles, the 2 playsets. That's great.
And the only problem is they're in such nice boxes that I can't take them out and play with them.
Nope, you can't. You can't.
That catapult is never going to launch a metallic disc in its life.
No, it's not. At least not while it's in your possession.
Nope. Maybe in another 30 years.
Maybe.
Um, so that was my
Wow, congratulations.
haul to get me back in the game.
That's good. Good stuff.
Tried to play the hits and end with Stairway to Heaven.
And this is so stupid, but I just noticed this. Watch my face, okay? Watch this part of my beard. When I look, it looks like it's pinching, like little claws. So, I saw the corner. I'm like,
It's
that's so.
we record this late at night. It's past Cohan's bedtime.
Yeah,
He's getting a little loopy.
the people are coming to get me. But look, like I could pick something up with it. Now you're not going to be able to stop staring at it. Look,
Oh,
trying to grasp
it was a good episode. It was going so well.
it. I think that adds to the mystique. Also, it says it's time to trim this bad boy. No, yeah, but yeah, good toy hauls. Once again, good toy hauls. Fun, like you said, it's the hits. It's the A side. We didn't go to the B side. We hit the A side.
Yeah, I mean we have wide interests, um, and we bring some cool weird stuff every now and then. Um, but we also have certain lanes that we
Yep,
travel in most of the time, and I'm fine with that.
me too. As we've said over and over again, it's what makes us happy, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
Oh, just knocked my
collecting's
microphone over.
all about putting together collections of things that bring you joy, that fill you with happiness when you look upon them. So don't be ashamed that you like things.
No, never, never be ashamed of your collection. Enjoy your collection because if you don't, no one else will. It doesn't matter if
Unless your
anyone else
collection
does.
is weird and bad.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you know,
Toenails or something.
yeah, scabs.
Mine was weird. Yours was gross.
Well, that's what my friends at work say. That I tend to take it always one step further than it needs to go. So I like to maintain that balance. You hit the line, I will cross that line. Any chance I get.
And I will edit that line out.
Oh,
Well, this was I Bought Toys Today. Um, And I'm John.
And I'm Cohan.
And I'm pretty sure that's all we do in the closer. So I'll say today we bought toys, and who knows what we'll do tomorrow.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all the
Yep,
Facebook
yep.
stuff. Hit the notification bell.
Now say goodnight.
Good night.